Sorry, I was slightly behind on getting started. I got caught up reading about a tray icon that I could install on my laptop to handle my self-administered VPN, so I don't have to issue 500 commands to connect and disconnect all the time. In whatever case, we're here for part two of today's Hovind double feature. God help us, ironically. But yeah. This is where he gets into Proverbs 1. I don't know what we are or are not going to have in this one. I haven't peeked ahead or anything. This is uncharted territory, folks. But what I do want to point out, and we're not going to spend much time reading it because there may or may not be something else coming up in relation to this. But Cindy actually wrote 9 hours ago her own version of a letter that Kent should write to her. I placed the lady's underwear in our marriage bathroom as well to enrage you. God. It reads quite beautifully, but gets, cut off by the character limit. This should become totally public here sooner or later. Not that I'm one for drama, but the situation here, Kent is the one bringing up stuff and just not accepting that he's a fucking monster. I'm going to presume maybe he brings this letter up again in this thing. Maybe not. Maybe this is just the point where Cindy was like made aware of the previous one that he did. I think the Sunday we were at the Ark Encounter protest, and she decided to respond in kind. Don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'm glad she's not staying silent. But sadly, that comes with the fact that we're going to have to listen to Kent, so he won't be staying silent either as we watch this stream. How the two are related, I don't know. That segue sounded better in my mind, but can't change the past, so we're doing it.
Evening, folks. Kent Hovind here in the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. Slightly warm and muggy, Lenox, Alabama today. You have a bunch of tours and take showers twice. It's enough for all month in one day. Okay. It is July the 15th, 2020.
Were they 2-minute showers, Kent?
25. Tonight we're going to start the book of Proverbs. Proverbs Bible study. We're on a bunch of channels. We're on Facebook, it seems to be the big one, on the Rumble, and on TikTok.
And yes, I know we just went through a Hovind video, so it's weird going through another one immediately. But we are going to go through his preamble because you never know what kind of crazy crap he's going to say in it. And y'all know my policy of completeness when it comes to Hovind.
TikTok and X and our app. You can get that.
Cut him off while he's saying TikTok. It sounded like he said cock. And cock and X. X-rated cock, anyone?
Costs us $6,000 a year to have that, but everything's free. Help us out if you want. On Instagram.
I gotta bring up that it costs $6,000 a year because we're fucking morons who can't find a more efficient way to broadcast our propaganda to the dumbasses who want it.
And click one of them buttons and something will happen. Okay. Be sure to like our channel, share it, subscribe, and make comments. Tomorrow night, well, whack an atheist.
You know what's weird is while I do pause the video for comment, part of this entire style of reaction video is kind of originated in MST3K. And that's kind of cool. Maybe I should modify things to where there's a little Yamato sitting here and just little gestures happening or something. That'd be cool. A little me, like this is a theater.
I'm going to save this one for tomorrow. You going to get that video ready for me, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hovind. I also got the rim job table cleaned and ready to go. Taco Tuesday didn't go well, but God, I apologize. Joseph is so far up Kent's ass. He's finding Christmas presents buried up in there. I don't know.
Love it. You might know somebody needs this message. You tell them, hey, watch this. Click it and share it. Okay. We're open for free. Have been for 9 years and a couple months. Join our 777 club. See, I like what you're doing, Brother Hovind. I'm going to support you for $1 a day or penny a day, something.
I love what you're doing, Lord Yamato. I want to support you by, pennies a day. Your pennies a day will keep Yamato fed. Is actually a lie. It goes towards storage units and other stuff, but still, you're helping keep my depression down. That's worth something, right? Right?
Whatever you want, or nothing. Most people do that, okay? But if you want to help, go to drdino.com. All the details.
Kent, I should be paid by you to watch you. It is without a doubt that I have consumed more Hovind content than just about anybody else outside of the prisoners at DAL. I still say maybe Claude slash Big Bad Mama and Christian Crybaby. Um, since they'll pull the random clips, virtually every upload, they'll find something good to extract. So that means they're watching it, waiting for the good stuff. So sometimes they'll hit videos I don't, but I'm definitely up there. Standing amongst giants, baby.
Details around there, and we just want to win souls. Okay, get our video series on science in the Bible. Is this the right cover, or that's the right cover?
Science in the Bible, you mean none?
Same thing, same content,
Yeah, because you do the same shit all the time.
different cover. Okay. So get the series and get our Whoa series. What on earth is about to happen? If you want to come help us build the Ark, we're at progress going like crazy, building a 1/3 scale model of Noah's Ark. Here we are, the 15th. Let's see, Proverbs Bible study. And the Old Testament is everything before Jesus came. And everything after Jesus came is called the New Testament, right? Over, you got to point this way. Okay. Oh,
I thought it just meant his socks were in need of a wash.
black. My finger. Cut my finger off. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Book of Proverbs is pretty much dead center in the Bible.
Sorry, after this much Hovind already today, I've just completely lost all ability to be a decent person. This is 18 levels of crude that you're going to get. If you don't like it, that's cool. This is what we're getting today. This half of the day. It's go time.
Right after the book of Psalms, Proverbs has 31 chapters. Book of Proverbs is a collection of essays, poems, and sayings expressing the wisdom of ancient Israel. It's part of the Old Testament, often considered the book of wisdom. The book attributed to King Solomon, most of it is written by him, though other people...
Isn't that the same dude who thought the solution to a problem was to cut a baby in half? Yeah.
Probably contributed some. Primary purpose of Proverbs is to provide guidance on living a wise, successful, faithful life.
Well, it fails at that purpose.
Emphasizing the importance of fearing the Lord and seeking wisdom.
Why should we fear an all-loving deity?
The bulk of the book is structured into several sections. The initial part, first 9 chapters, is a series of instructions given by a father to his son. Hey, boy, listen, I'm going to give you some wisdom here. Emphasizing
that boy, he does. So unsettling.
The importance of wisdom and the dangers of folly, being foolish. These chapters include personifications of wisdom as a woman. Personification makes this attribute, wisdom, as if it's a woman, who calls out to humanity, offering guidance and promising happiness and success to those who heed her.
Probably the complexity, the money trail it would leave. It's easier to just handle a lot more stuff directly through less third-party means. I don't know. That's my best guess.
The bulk of the book, Proverbs 10 through 29, contains a collection of pithy and brilliant 1 or 2 line sayings that deal with almost every issue in life, including relationships, work, speech, God, old age, drinking, and...
Oh, so does it have a solution to why NetStat failed on my BSD box after a system upgrade to deliver the HTML pages? They just disappeared. And for some reason, I can't pull them from the Git repo. Actually, I know why I can't. At 404, so I don't know where the hell the Git repo is. Does the Bible contain that information? Because if so, I'd like to do that, because that was a pretty cool thing. I mean, I've got another manager in there, but it's not as real time, not as fancy. Maybe it's for the better, though.
Integrity, money, lifestyle, government, justice, poverty, teachability.
Laura, at this point, you should remember that Kent doesn't know a damn thing about the Bible. He's fucking stupid. Like, I would love to see you debate him on the Bible in and of itself. You would mop the floor with him in a most poetically beautiful way.
Attitude, and much more. These proverbs often contrast wisdom with foolishness, providing practical advice on various aspects of life. If you're a new Christian, or even if you're not a Christian at all, you should read the book of Proverbs just to get some wisdom.
No, thank you. We're American.
The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding,
And if you know where the no, thank you, we're American line comes from, you're fucking awesome. And I know somebody out there's going to get it.
to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Well, why is Solomon qualified to write this? If you go back to 1 Kings chapter 3,
Hey, wait. Did they say something about equity in there? Bro, that's too woke, man. Hashtag go woke, go broke.
and Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David, his father, King David, guy killed Goliath. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for it was a great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night and said, Solomon, ask what I shall give thee. Hovind translation. You got one wish. What do you want? Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David.
Okay, hang on. Is this First Kings? Why are we First Kings and we're supposed to be in Proverbs? Come on, Kent. You suck at teaching this book.
My father, great mercy.
You suck at teaching. Full stop.
According as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as at this day. And now, O Lord, my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father. And I'm but a child. I know not how to go out and come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou...
Phrasing there, authors of the King James Version of Magic Book of Bullshit.
Thou hast chosen a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart. He's talking to God. God, would you please give me an understanding heart so that I can judge your people, that I might
Hey, Kent, you know that understanding happens in the brain, right?
discern between good and bad. Who is able to judge this, thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. And God said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself. Hey, if you had one wish from God, what would it be? Bunch of money, long time, long life, build a big house. Solomon asked for wisdom. God was pleased. And you've not asked for the life.
So God's a genie now. Well, you rub the lamp, he comes out. Make a wish, I'm too busy jerking it in here.
For thine enemies. But thou hast asked for understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I've given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there is none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. In other words, Solomon, you're going to be the smartest guy that ever lived.
One smart enough to not die.
Pretty quite a promise. I've also given thee that which thou hast not asked, riches, honor, so that there shall not be among any of the kings like unto thee all thy days. Somebody figured out one time how much Solomon made per day. I forget what it was, many millions of dollars per day. And if thou wilt walk in my ways to keep my statutes and judgment and commandments, as thy father David did, walk, then I will lengthen thy days. I'll let you live a long time. You didn't ask for money. I'm going to give you that anyway. You didn't ask for long life. I'll give you that anyway, God says. You got a similar story.
What is the lesson here supposed to be?
The same story told in Second Chronicles chapter 1. In that night did God appear to Solomon and said, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, Thou showed kindness to my mercy to my David my father. You can read the story for yourself in Second Chronicles. Okay, here we go. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. We got all kinds of words we better get some meaning of here. What is wisdom? What is instruction? What is understanding? What is justice, judgment, equity?
Oh, okay. That does make sense, Laura. But I feel like given this is targeted towards the fan club, he could just say, recall back to such and such when. Solomon was granted, was given a wish and, granted a wish, and it was, for wisdom, da da da. He still sucks as an orator.
It's good to get a dictionary when you read through the Bible, okay? Especially a 1828 Webster's dictionary, because that gives the meanings of words in the King James Bible in 1611. Opening verses of Proverbs states, the purpose of the book is to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. This indicates that the text aims to provide knowledge and insight into moral and ethical living. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Or if there's one thing I've prayed a million times since my 16 years old when I got saved, Lord, give me wisdom, give me understanding. Help me to know what the truth is. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So what is the difference between knowledge and wisdom?
Another stupid image. I'm going to wonder what Kent says about this. But I describe wisdom as what happens when knowledge is applied over time. The resulting product is wisdom. Because you need experience to truly make the knowledge valuable in a practical sense, which that practical knowledge could be defined as wisdom. So that's the way I like to, classify everything, in a sense, almost like a mathematic formula. Let's see what Ken has to say.
Well, knowledge is knowing how to pick your nose. Wisdom is knowing when and where to do it. And discretion is knowing what to do with it after you get it out.
Now let's compare what I articulated to what Kent just did.
Simple way to understand it. See, cows and giraffes can do it without any hands. Yeah, that's important to somebody somewhere. Okay, let's see. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. Subtlety. What is subtlety? Well, in Genesis 27, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Isaac was blind, and Jacob, his son, tricked him into giving him the birthright. And his brother came in all upset, and his dad says, well, your brother came with subtlety. Crafty, sneaky kind of, okay? The ability to really understand or get something done. I have a sacrifice to do it to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it subtly, to the intent he might destroy the worshipers of Baal. Jehu tricked them, okay? They consulted that they might take Jesus by subtlety and kill him. If you just read all the times that word appears in the Bible, usually you understand what the meaning of the word is. The King James is its own dictionary built in. And
no, that's not how context clues work, Kent.
In Acts 13, he said, "O full of all subtlety and mischief, you child of the devil, you enemy of all righteousness, wilt thou not cease to pervert the right ways of the Lord?" He said, "I fear lest by any means as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety." Subtlety, 1828 Webster's Dictionary. Shyness, slyness in design, cunning, artifice. Usually, but less properly, written subtly.
This man seriously just tried to explain to us what subtlety, subtly, any variation on to be subtle about something is, as if the definition has changed drastically in a couple of 100 years.
Anyway, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Hear, my son, hear the instruction.
Yes, like all the instructions I followed to fine-tune my BSD box, all the instructions I followed at work today. Well, most of them. A few things I knew I could ignore. Not telling you what, but I could ignore it. Anyway, stupid jokes aside. Always with the built-in, if you listen to this book, you're the smart one, but if you don't listen to Magic Book, you're stupid. Because, of course, Magic Book that says a bunch of bullshit says you're dumb if you don't believe Magic Book of bullshit.
Of thy father, forsake not the law of thy mother. I can look back on my childhood and say my dad was an awesome dad. Sergeant in the Marines, World War II, fighting in the Japanese theater, only survivor of his platoon. Brilliant.
Did that man ever actually see combat? I asked because you constantly brag about being the only survivor of his platoon because he was sick. He was in the fucking hospital. Had he been out there in combat, he would have died along with everybody else. And we wouldn't have to have dealt with you existing, but that's not the reality we inhabit.
Man, and smart. And he taught us.
Also, your dad raised you. Your dad's a piece of shit because it would take a real piece of work to raise a dumbass like you. I'll fucking call it.
Boy, so many things. I can still today hear the instruction of my father. Now, you may not have had that. My dad didn't have that. His dad died when he was a teenager of tuberculosis, a long, lingering illness. So he didn't get to teach my dad much. My dad came home from the war and got married, had 3 boys and a daughter, and said, I'm going to teach my kids stuff I should have learned when I was a kid. And he spent his life pouring it into us. So if you did not have a good father figure, shut up, quit whining, and you become one to your kids. Break the chain right with your generation where it stopped.
Yes, by beating the shit out of them because they're scared of the dentist. Really good chain breaking that was, Kent. You'll wonder why your kids don't talk to you.
Do something, okay? Forsake not the law of thy mother. See, there's a mountain of knowledge to gain out there. Atheists
And not a single bit of it can be found in the Bible.
have not even started to climb it.
Kent, we on top.
Bible says, the fool has said in his heart, there's no God.
And the book of Chris says the Bible's a load of shit.
You're not even started on the mountain of knowledge, okay? And this word wisdom is used in the Bible a bunch of times in the book of Job and a bunch of times in the book of Proverbs.
Wow, don't give a fuck.
Wisdom is used in the Bible, 234 times, that word wisdom. It's used a bunch of times in Job, 8 times in Psalms, 54 times in Proverbs, and 11 times in the book of Daniel. Daniel prayed for God to give him wisdom. That's why Daniel and Revelation are the 2 books in the Bible that talk about end times, how it's going to end. I got a bunch of those verses. If you get my chart, let's see.
But remember, it's totally not a death cult.
Right here. There's
apocalyptic death cult. Obsessed with the world ending. Totally not a death cult.
the little one, $10. The big one's behind me. On the back is all the verses about the future, according to the Bible, from the book of Daniel, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. You got to really start with Daniel to study the future. Daniel had a
No.
vision of the future. God showed it to him. At the end of the book of Daniel, Daniel said, Lord, I don't really understand everything I wrote here. God said, that's okay. You're done. Put the pen down. You don't need to understand. You needed to write down what I said. I do that to my secretary. You don't need to understand. Just write this down and do this. Call up the auto parts store and order A, B, C. I don't know what that is. You don't need to know what it is. Just order it. Okay? I need one. God inspired his word.
Understanding what you're talking about, Kent, might help the conversation go a little better because some questions may be asked that you haven't accounted for. And that's going to make it a little difficult for the correct item to be figured out. I work in retail. I know how it is when people get asked to find something. They're just given a name and know no details and thus can't select from the variety of options. And just because you think you might have conveyed the exact thing clearly doesn't mean you did. Also, weird for a person who's supposed to have been a teacher for so long to not want to teach somebody something.
Through men that may not even have understood what they were writing. Didn't have to. It's God's word. Okay. For they shall be an ornament of grace upon thy head and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Look, if sinners ask you to do something bad, just say no. Consent thou not. Consent
Don't fucking sing, you fucking backwaters piece of shit.
thou not. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. The song we sang in junior church for all the kids. Okay?
It's a shitty song.
If they say, come with us.
It's a shitty song, you're a shitty singer, and your junior church is fucking stupid.
Let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let's sneak up on somebody that's not watching, okay? Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down to the pit. We shall find all precious substance. Hey, come with us. We're going to rob somebody. This is what they're saying. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Hey, come with us. We'll divide up whatever we steal. We'll divide it up evenly. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Here's Solomon giving his son advice. Boys, don't go with those idiots. There are certain people you just can't hang around.
Like Ken Hovind.
How many of you ever had a friend that got you in trouble because you should not have been hanging around them, but you did? Okay, yep.
And you know what? I was also that bad kid to some of my friends. It kind of happened. We were kids do that. They test, the limits of things. Sometimes they get away with a little more than they should. I don't think that necessarily happened with me. Did happen with some friends. It's just how stuff goes.
For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. One of the many lessons, probably 200 plus, I teach on my safari tour is about the crooked trees. I stopped by these trees on part of our tour. I said, kids, these 3 trees all followed each other's bad example and went crooked together. Have you ever done something dumb because you're with a friend that was dumb? You wouldn't have done it by yourself. But if you get dumb and put them together,
don't tell me what I will and won't do, motherfucker.
There's no telling what they will do. I was school principal for several years, and whenever they brought one kid in, I knew just a few more minutes, his buddy's coming in. There's always the 2 of them getting in trouble together. Yep. Bible says a companion of fools shall be destroyed. We stopped on show the pictures of the crooked forest in Poland on our tour. Look at what happened. Nobody knows. There's 4 or 5.
I actually would love an explanation for this, which I'm sure it's something pretty straightforward. Also, Ken Hovind's the type of motherfucker at 72 years old to say, look it.
5 different theories. The trees are about 30 years old. All went crooked together. So Solomon has given his boy some wisdom. Don't do that, son. Don't hang around bad people. They lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. Boys, they're gonna hurt themselves, is what's gonna happen. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. When God put the curse on him in
Oh, you mean like you, Hovind?
the Garden of Eden, he told the snake, you're gonna crawl on your belly. Well, it's not a curse to crawl on your belly if you're already crawling on your belly. So he had either arms or legs or wings or maybe all 3. Nobody knows. But he lost something. He told the woman, you're going to have...
Because Kent is fucking incompetent. Real answer, it might well be because of the way he's converted the images over, because that is his old background zoomed further out. And it may be a case of when he converted from 4x3 to 16:9 in PowerPoint. Which it's weird that he uses 16:9 PowerPoint slides. From what I've gathered, traditionally, unless it's like a big corporate thing, like... generally the average person's still going to go 4x3 just by default, like that is preferred in some circles.
Pain in childbearing, and Adam's going to be the boss of the family. That's the curse, ladies. He's the boss, okay? And he told Adam, you got to work for a living with the sweat of your face. You got to plow the ground and raise crops. And ever since...
He also had to plow his wife.
Since that day, people have tried to get out of that curse by making somebody else work, and they go steal what they worked for. Yeah. So are the ways of...
like you, Hovind?
Are greedy of gain. They want it, but they don't want to work for it. Taketh away the life. Okay? Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. In the opening of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? Kind way of saying, hey, idiots, why you like being dumb? Okay? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. I called, and you refused. I stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. You said it not, all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I feel that way about the atheists that I debate, Joseph.
You ain't debated anybody in months, Kent. Shut the hell up.
I tried to warn you. It's real simple. God made the world. He owns it. He makes the rules. We're all guilty of breaking his rules. You're going to be judged by that same...
No, and no.
Same God one day, and he provided one way out. That's Jesus Christ. You don't want to take it? I tried to warn you. I'll be up there judgment day. They're going to call up some of you atheists for judgment. They're going to call me up as witness and say, Lord, I tried. I whacked them 10 times. They didn't get it. I debated them 3 times. They didn't get it. What else want me to
The ego on this motherfucker.
do? You wouldn't listen. How many of you ever did something dumb because you wouldn't listen? Ever do something? Yeah. Okay.
Didn't you already ask that, Kent?
I remember my Volkswagen. First, I love that little 1963 Volkswagen. The head bolt stripped out. So we had to pull the heads off and, tap out the block and put in helicoils. And
James Vinning, do not take your kids to Dinosaur Adventureland. You may not leave with all of them.
Put it back together. My dad said, son, you drilled holes in your engine block. You need to change oil before you do anything. Well, I had a heavy date that night. Well, she wasn't that heavy, but had a date that night. I was in too big a hurry to change oil. So picked up the girl, went to church, had a wonderful time, went out for ice cream afterwards. I'm taking her home, dropped her off. On the way back to my house, little lights came on the dash all over the place that said, you idiot, you should have changed oil. How many know what I'm talking about? You had those idiot lights.
Changed the oil, Kent. God, that whole dropping of articles fucking annoys me.
Come on. I told you what to do and you didn't do it. I will laugh. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. He's saying, look, I warned you and warned you, you didn't listen. Now I'm going to laugh at you for not listening. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, they shall not find me. Too late, you got to rebuild the motor now, son. Yeah. For that they hated knowledge, and they did not choose the fear of the Lord.
Yeah, Laura, that would be the proper way to go through this, but Hovind doing anything proper, even teaching his own mythology. It's incredible, really.
Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. You atheists, I'm trying to straighten you out, okay? It's not because it's me. It's really very simple. It's God's word. He said he did it in 6 days. He said there was a flood that destroyed it. The flood is what made all the fossils. The flood made all the layers.
And the Book of Chris says that every single thing you have said and will say is a complete fucking lie. I win.
The layers are not different ages, guys. How can the top layer be?
Also, here we go. Another point for the bingo card, pointlessly bringing evolution in when he has no reason to. He was doing perfectly fine with just a Bible study, and he's got to just suddenly go on his evolution rant. He hadn't bitched about it in a couple of days.
Younger than the bottom layer. Where did all that dirt come from? Was it hanging around out in space for billions of years waiting to land? Even then, it'd be the same age. Every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age. How can you not get it? But you hate knowledge, don't you? Anyway.
Nah, just you. You're not knowledge.
They wouldn't listen to my counsel and my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way.
Billy, yeah. Indicators for certain conditions were definitely a thing. You want to know what's crazy? You know the whole problem where everyone's driving around with bright as fuck lights? In the 60s, they had, and 50s and 60s, they had already devised dimmer systems that would detect oncoming lights and dim your headlights to not blind the motorist you're coming up on. That's some cool shit. That stuff needs to be mandatory these days, but no. You'd be driving at night and suddenly get blinded by some fucker in an F-250.
Shall be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them. The prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Whoso hearkeneth unto me, talking about wisdom, shall dwell safely, shall be quiet from fear of evil. End of chapter 1. Okay, any questions or comments, brother?
Yeah, you suck.
What are your thoughts on John MacArthur's passing? That's sad. He did a wonderful, great ministry for a lifetime, very faithful for a lifetime. I think when they sent me something about that, I commented on that channel about his passing. All I said was Isaiah 57:1. Isaiah 57:1 is a good. If you have somebody that dies in your family, and they love the Lord, read Isaiah 57:1. He said, the people who die now are better off than those who have to face what's coming. We're headed for trouble. The ones who die now are better off. Thank you for everything John did for the Lord. I look forward to meeting him up in heaven.
Then again, refer back to my previous stream and what that logically results in you guys should be doing.
Sit by him at the supper of the Lamb. Okay? Okay, let's see. Helping with my walk with God. Thank you. Well, appreciate that. Shireen. Spread it around. That's all I ask. You'll find somebody else who needs this same encouragement. Tell them about it. Okay?
Yep. Encouragement that you don't need this guy. Even if you are partial to religion, you sure as hell don't need this dumbass in your life. Trying to tell you how stupid you are, how horrible you are. If you don't think exactly like him.
Let's see. Flat Earth versus round Earth. One topic I'm waiting
Oh my God, here we go.
for you to cover. I covered it a couple times. I don't want to cover it. My ministry is on creation. The Earth is round. It spins. It goes around the sun. The flat Earth theory is dumb. Okay, Kansas is flat. The rest of it's round. There's so many ways to prove that scientifically. Scripturally, there's no way to prove it's flat. There's a lot of idioms in the Bible. Don't get me started. Long time. Joseph, why don't you do one on that?
I know a guy. He's a physics teacher. Jason, Yamato flat earth arguments on Facebook.
That's why you fucking hear when Joseph talks. Hey Joseph, you're a chicken shit.
You come here and did a boot camp for us a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Did you programs on it?
It's just I don't want to do bunny. I don't want to do programs on the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus either. Okay. Sorry. Christians are called to be Christ.
I'm gonna be real. Kind of wish you were at the. I say kind of wish, as in totally wish you had the opportunity to join us at the Ark Encounter protest there, Billy. That would have been fun to hang out. You would have definitely fit in with the crowd we had at the cabin. You were kind of the missing piece, being quite honest. Like out of anyone else who wasn't able to come, but would have been more apt to come, as in like a content creator or anything, you were definitely the person being missed. And I felt that, but I didn't say it or think anything about it at the moment, like enough to make it as like a point of discussion. But in retrospect, yeah. So, wish you had been there, man. Would have been cool.
Like they're not supposed to be Daniel like, Job like, Elijah like. You think Jesus would call non-believers names? I believe he did. I think if you watch it. Yeah. You snakes, you vipers. Yeah. Make fun of them and degrade them. I think we should act in love toward them. Well, Aaron, you do it however you want. You go, if I drive them away, you catch them and win them. But God gave me a little bit of the Elijah personality. I like to laugh at him. You dance around the fire. Come on. Maybe call louder. Maybe you're out, in the potty or something.
So your God has to use the restroom? Well, that automatically makes them weaker than Kim Jong-il. He never had to use the restroom. True facts.
Oh, yeah, I think that's Christ-like. My way works pretty good. Anyway, more there, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Click like and repost the video to help get the word out. God bless you, Kent, and the crew. Thank you. Appreciate that. I can barely hear you. Certain things he can't talk about to keep his funding. I let God worry about the funding. I'll talk about whatever God tells me to talk about. Okay? I'm not.
Including whale penises and barnacle penises. I really like the barnacle penises.
Holding back on anything.
Yeah, I think they're saying that you won't speak on flat earth because you're going to lose some government funding.
I won't speak on flat earth because I spoke on it. I said it's stupid. It's not true. Oh, how's that? Dumb. Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow night, Whack an Atheist. Got several in line, but one might have done a video recently and jumped ahead of the line. Some you just got to whack over and over and over, and they just don't get it.
Ooh, I wonder who it could be. I guess we'll find out in like another hour because, he'll be doing that about 7 o'clock Central. So, And what, about an hour? About 40 minutes or so. I wonder if it's gonna be Dan. Is it gonna be some of them you have to whack again and again. Who did a recent video? Doesn't really matter. Whoever it is, it's gonna be one of our buddies. We'll have some fun. We'll laugh at that tomorrow, most definitely. Let's let this clown finish up what he has to say, though.
But I like whacking them. See you tomorrow night. Bye.
Like I said, we're thorough with everything around here. But okay, that's it. That was the Hovind. Oh, I had comments going that I didn't read out. Laura says, snort note, Jesus does not call unbelievers snakes and vipers. Use those names for the religious leaders of the day who were jackasses like you, Kent. Even I know that. The specific of snakes and vipers, calling them the pit of vipers and the like, was referring to those teaching. Like, that was Jesus's whole thing, was that uh God wasn't being taught, this the whole entire religion wasn't being taught correctly, and so he came to change that, to fix the problem, was my understanding of stuff. Billy says, yeah, definitely wish I could have been there as well, but yeah, me and the wife already had an Indiana trip scheduled for like the last 6 months. Yeah, understandable. People can't just travel all over. We got to work for a living, unlike Hovind. Would love to have been there. No, I'm not a content creator. Maybe I should be, but I'd fit in, looking for a place anyway. I'm older than thinking atheist, so maybe I'm too old. Nah, you're not too old. You're never too old. If you wanna share your piece, do it. It doesn't matter how old a person is. Just share your thoughts. And yet, you being there would have fit right in. I mean, there were plenty of people who weren't creators. There were a lot of creators, but plenty who weren't. Supporters, etc. Those who wanted to get involved, in one way or another. Laura hates Kent so damn much. Very model of a whitewashed tomb. Yep. These days, going to have to call into Hovind. Joe Cool, definitely. Kent being heckled by Flat Earth is absolutely golden. Yeah, the Flat Earthers coming in out of nowhere is just, it tickles me in a way that just nothing else really does. Ooh, he's talking about him being a chicken. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah. Oh, God, because I automatically forgot that stream happened last night. We hadn't really whacked Joe before, per se, but alternately, it could be going on the Damn Show, the stream they had with Mandisa, where she talked about debating Kent and the like. Does he know the colloquial meaning of whack? He probably does, and probably thinks we're gross perverts for thinking of it that way. Tim Buck says he does, and he's doing it on purpose. Quite possibly. Deviant sending much support to our friend Seth. Had to yawn there for a moment. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, this was a fun double stream of Hovind. I don't really have anything to follow up with. I'm just kind of a little bummed that the streaming time for today is over, but I got a few side projects I'm going to work on, play a little Guild Wars, and go to sleep and do it all over again tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll hit up the whatever video Kent decides to whack. So that'll be fun. That's it for me right now. Y'all know where I'll be. You can hit me up in Discord. Links down below to all kinds of cool stuff.